Okay, hi everyone. On behalf of Women in Tech, I'm really glad to say welcome to another growth series, this time for March. And as we started on the 1st of March with the 24/7 tour, we are ending with one incredible growth story with one remarkable lady. And now I will invite on the stage Carolina Hedman. Hi, Carolina.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi, how are you? Thank you, Monica.
I just said that we are excited to welcome you on the stage after the 1st of March event, which went really good, like the 24/7 tour. And now it's my pleasure that we have you for the growth series. So I will leave you on the stage, and Caro, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Women in Tech, for this opportunity to share with you my dream, my passion, but also what we are doing here in Women in Tech Sweden. Welcome to Women with Wings, Drones, Codes, and Worlds Beyond. I am Carolina Hedman, CEO of Globalyx and Chapter Director of Women in Tech Sweden. Today, on March 31st, we explore the governance of the future we have already built. But as a human-centric AI and climate innovation strategy, I design technology systems that place communities, cultures, and ecosystems at the center of the digital and climate transition. And for me, drones, climate, sustainability, experiences is everything. Because when we are building something, when we are working with something and where really we need to go forward. Sorry, Monica, I cannot use the slides screen. I think that I need the control. I cannot move my presentation.
I'm
Yeah,
trying.
sorry. No, I cannot do nothing with the.
It says that you can. Just checking.
No, I cannot do nothing. Sorry.
No.
No, maybe I can share, and it's more easy for me because with that you need to help me to.
I'm not able.
You can. Okay, or
share.
you can give me the permission that to move my presentation.
Your presentation is already on the stage. Just
Yes, but I cannot do nothing. No, you have the permission to do it. Sorry, we are having some issues with technology. But when technology knows that you are busy, that you are stressed, technology normally don't help. But we are going to try to solve the problem in 1 second. No. Okay, now I have the control, finally. See. Then, welcome everybody. Welcome, I am Carol Hedman. I am really happy to share with you the opportunities that we are doing and we are creating, and also the opportunities and where we like that you will be involved, because it's not only when you are dreaming something or when you are talking about your passion. It's more about how you can co-create, how you can create these important opportunities for all of the women in all over the world. And this is my dream. It's not only about wings, it's not about drones, it's not about worlds beyond, because I believe in the future, and I know that we need some kind of governance, because we are building the future, but we don't understand in real what we are building. And I really believe that we need to be really aware, and we need to start to talk about three things. First, I really believe that the challenge has shifted. By 2026, the challenge is no longer a creation, it's a governance, because everybody is using, for example, AI. But what is in the real AI? What is artificial intelligence? Is it code? Is a strategy? Is a image? Is a ChatGPT? It's a Perplexity? It's cloud? It's many things. But I think that we really need to be more focused in creation it's okay and it's the wave, but I think that the governance is the second. And then these two pillars in between need to create the real meaning, the real word in what we are talking. In my side, when we are talking about to build drones, for example, it's not only about drones, it's about, for example, the photography, it's about code, it's about algorithms. When you are talking or working with climate, you are getting information, you are getting data, and this open the opportunity for women in tech to figure it out what we can do, how we can work with it, but also which kind of new activities, abilities, or maybe professions we can handle, and also which kind of opportunities we can offer for the women in the next generation. It's not about how we can do or use the technology. It's how we are going to create the rules to use the technology. And this is part of the clear understanding of the opportunity to question something, and where we normally don't think. Maybe we attend a lot of events, a lot of webinars, a lot of cues or quizzes or maybe testing, but the real meaning here is, please tell me in all of the audience that we are having now, if you are working in tech or in deep tech, if you are working on having for example, a team, and you are leading this team or your organization. Maybe you are a female founder, maybe you are the engineer in your team, maybe you are the AI expert. Please let me know in the chat. Or maybe you are only learning and exploring these new opportunities and trends that they are now in the activities in our world, but also in our normally life. AI is everywhere. Also, we have AI in the pocket. I'm going to show you a little more about this. It's not about only how we can control, for example, a flight with the drones. It's what we're going to do with information that we are getting through the drones. And or maybe you are only here because you are part of the community and you are not completely involved in technology and in other fields. For me, the journey started many years ago and was more from impossible to possible. I am a founder of Globalyx, and our brand is Impossible is Possible. We create products and services that the people loves. And this is really interesting and important for me because we are more focusing how we can solve the people problems, know which kind of services or technology we can provide, or we can offer to the customer. The starting point, we need to discover. It's more a discovering together how we are going to solve the problem, how we can help the customer to use the technology. And this was now 15 years navigating drones, artificial intelligence, and digital transformation. Globalyx it's a company, and when we are focused in advocate for women-led governance in emerging tech. And this it's really important for us because it was the main reason that we started Women in Tech Sweden, because we like to share, we like to create this certain about what is happening in the world with technology. And maybe you were listening about these three forces in this 2026. That is, I think that is going to be the most important year in discovering the technology, but also how we are using the technology for many different ways in different many orders. First is the opportunity to see how autonomous system became part of the daily basis. Now we are going to see more robots in the streets. If you've seen this opportunity and video where all of the China robots, they were doing a perfect kung fu. But now also the first lady in the United States was walking near to a robot that was taking care of her. It was like a bodyguard, a robot. Then the autonomous system is here, and they are a really powerful combination because drones is not only the things that fly. We have different kind of drones, but we're going to go forward a little more in the next slides. When we're talking about autonomous systems, we are talking about operating faster than regulation. And this is really important because what the robots is going to do, They're going to help us, they're going to cook, they're going to be a bodyguard. We can maybe marry with some robot, because the people, they are thinking on that. And then the human, they are going more faster in his ideas that maybe what we can dream. And another is the code and structure and infrastructure. Sorry, because software, it's the backbone of everything that we are doing. And maybe we are not focused on that, but code, software, it's important in the meaning, the how and who is going to use and for what. And the third is spatial and synthetic. Reality is not longer just physical. For example, now we are interacting in three different worlds, and then we are into the metaverse, and it's the basic part of the metaverse, but it's real because you are in your own world. We are now together in other world, and when we are talking, and I am also in the third world, because when we are interacting in three different stages, we are working with these kind of beautiful opportunities and where we can interact with technology. And also I can use another, if I use a headset, then I am in other world. Then we're talking about more about how this become and the reality for us. Maybe 20 years ago, when somebody was talking about to talk, to go or visit somebody or some place in a hologram, we were saying, no, it's not clear, it's not. But now you can be in Machu Picchu, you can be in Egypt, you can visit the beautiful Egyptian museum. Everything maybe can be possible. And this is the real important now, what we are doing and how we are creating these opportunities. When we're talking about these three pillars, we are talking about autonomous systems, code as infrastructure, and new world, that is spatial and synthetic reality. There are three different pillars regarding the opportunity to understand the real meaning about technology. Autonomous system, they operate faster than regulation. And this is a break point, because we are having a lot of issues. There are some countries where everything is regulated. For example, in Sweden, everything related with drones is regulated. But if I'm traveling to another country, maybe don't exist any of the regulation, but it's exactly the same with all of the autonomous system. Mobility, for example, is possible maybe to use autonomous cars in certain areas. For example, in Mexico, it's possible to use autonomous car. It's coming a lot in Dubai, for example. Also, there are different kind of regulations. It's a regulation into country, but we don't have this global regulation yet ready. Then we need to make decision with a human's intervention, and this is the most important thing, because logistics, for example, defense, healthcare, and agriculture. Now, when it's happening in Latin America that they don't have people that they like to work in agriculture, they are solving the problem with drones. We are fertilizing, we are making logistics, we are measuring fields, because we need to solve the problem. We need to figure it out how we're going to grow faster and better food for all of the world. And we need to use autonomous system. Second is code as infrastructure, because the software, like I was telling you before, is no longer a tool. It's a society background, because this decide for example, for us, can decide artificial intelligence the ticket of for the next music event. AI is deciding also which kind of seat you are going to buy in your next flight. Your diagnosis, also the medical diagnosis. Also, I know that your question many things about your health to artificial intelligence, to your AI, and then it's around algorithms. We are now surrounded by algorithms, and then we need to understand that is now opportunity to understand that the tools change and we are using all of them in different ways, but we don't understand exactly how. And the last, that is the most beautiful for me, that I really love to work with virtual reality, augmented reality, and extended reality. It's this opportunity that we have now, this real reality, and where we cross physical worlds to go directly to new, really beautiful worlds, like digital twins, spatial computing, and for sure AI generating environments and refining how we live, work, and connect. And I really believe with these three pillars, create the certain and the opportunity to understand how we can use technology, because it's not only artificial intelligence, it's not only about drones, it's not only about digital twins. Imagine that we can combine these three in different ways to create new opportunities, new rules, and for sure a clear governance. So this is the main part about the situation when we are talking about rules, how we can want to use technology to create better understanding in between, maybe safe cities, maybe more healthy people, maybe many things. Then drones are anywhere. If you can see in your country, near to you, around you, in the news, when you are looking, for example, news, there are more and more and more and more films created by drones. Also technology, and I'm working in a really beautiful archaeological project, and they are using drones with LiDAR. Then the annual growth in commerce, when you are talking about drones, is incrementing, and check this, 40%. But also is agriculture, is emergency responses, urban delivery to defense. Drones are transforming every sector. Drones are transforming the war. It's a really bad, but they are transforming the war. It's different kind of war using drones. But in the good well, in the good area, they are transforming our life really fast and really, really easy. We are more and more adjusted to seeing drones around us. How happened this? Because there are a trinity of autonomous movement, and this is named the revolution. You know, it's not only about technology, it's not about artificial intelligence, it's not about mobility, it's about all of them together in, for example, a smart city. What we are saying, I am saying that the trinity of autonomous movement is dronica, mobility, and autonomous. They are completely different and they are different uses. For sure, in a smart city, you need to use all of them. But imagine, for example, dronica. Drones is related with ecosystems, hardware, software, and airspace. And we can use in, for example, urban spaces, remote zones, and for sure we need to talk more about the governance, because, like I was saying you before, not everything about drones is regulated. Then we need to understand who controls what files over us, because they are taking information about how we can live, or houses, or greenhouses, or field that we are growing food. Then it's important to know about dronica. Second is mobility, and mobility is about how people, goods, and data moves across physical and digital worlds. It is really important, because if you've seen, dronica is about the physical world per se. But when you combine mobility, it's a second door. It's digital world. Then dronica and mobility can create this digital world, and it's beautiful because we can see smart cities. We can be there. We can understand how everything works, because it's connected with Internet of Things. Then here in mobility, we can create and operate cities and supply chain and digital infrastructure. But also here we need to question the important thing: who owns the flow of movement? Who owns the rules and regulations? And the third pillar is autonomous. Dronica is the physical world. Mobility is the second door about digital, and where you can combine the beautiful algorithms with the information that the drones they are taking, and you can have a software that can read, and then you can see everything. For example, by Google Earth, the is creating and using dronica, mobility, and the third, autonomous. There in autonomous is systems that decide and act and adapt without human input. This is the most important part. We are living in these three beautiful moments at the same time, and maybe really confused for many of us, because one is dronica, second is mobility, and the third is autonomous. When we are in autonomous, it's in every sector: health, finance, defense, transport, logistics, no? Because now we have drones that they can check everything. They can fly, but also we have the access and where the drones can be helpful, for example, goods or emergencies. But then the third, imagine that the drone is flying around an emergency area and the drone can check the signs of all of the people and they can send information to the hospital, and maybe there are a doctor, it's on an example, a doctor that is checking all of the information that is happening in the emergency area and he's taking the decisions, is using Dronica, mobility, and autonomous. And this is the beauty of this moment in our life. It's amazing. It's it's the wow moment for me, and I hope that also for you. But how it works? Well, I think that Dronica defines the vehicle, mobility defines the network, and autonomous defines the intelligence. Together, they are the infrastructure of the future. And this is the reason that I believe that is the most beautiful moment in our life, because we are seeing, we are in front of us, in front of our eyes, is happening everything at the same time. And it will be scary, but also it will be really interesting. The eye is the key because it's not a robot, it's not magic, but also artificial intelligence is not the future. It's artificial intelligence, it's in our pocket, in your bank, in your doctor office. Then artificial intelligence provides us the certain about things. Artificial intelligence connect the dots. It's a system that learn from data and make decisions. Artificial intelligence provide information to the machine, and then the machine can act. And this is part of the journey. But also, for example, AI can be in your life, in your TV, with your family, for example, with Netflix, because now artificial intelligence is used to check what do you like, what do you like to sing, what do you like to listen, what do you like to eat, and then they can recommend you different kind of things, bank or phones, or maybe you are looking for something, maybe you are looking for a trip, and you are looking for a trip in your phone, and in a certain moment comes a lot of information about this beautiful place where you like to go for holidays in your computer directly in maybe in Amazon or in Fireworks, the software that you are using. Then it's the reason because they are using AI and they are trying to understand us, and they are trying to understand more and more and more our behaviors, attitudes, and everything that we, and where we are in front of the technology. And for sure, what matters for everyone, AI is making decisions about our health, our money, our job, and our cities. We are giving information all time to the artificial intelligence, and then with this code, they are creating this new world for us. It's a really interesting, important, and amazing. But also, we need to understand, and we need to talk about artificial intelligence in our family with our kids, because it's coming more and more and more. I was reading this morning that this year is going to be the most horrible year regarding cybersecurity, because it's coming more and more and more cyber attacks. Why? Because we are offering all of the information to the artificial intelligence in the really easy way. But then code is not a tool, it's a policy. And all of the algorithms is a decision. Every decision has a consequence. This is the main situation when we are talking about drones, codes, and AI, because here is a combination about different kind of things. Maybe I'm questioning ChatGPT about how I feel today because maybe I have a headache, and then ChatGPT is telling me which kind of medicine I need to use, which kind of treatment I need to do, which kind of consequences I can have if I don't use in good well the treatment. But it's not a doctor. It's supplying some ideas, and sometimes it's not the real good. And this is the next frontier of artificial intelligence and everything that we are seeing before, because now we can create more or less everything in our pocket. We can have digital twins. We can create a city, for example, in really easy way with 3D visualization. We can create a factories, hospital, everything. It will be replicated virtually. It's beautiful, it's amazing, but also we need to think about the regulations and the boundaries. For example, in computing, Apple Vision Pro is an amazing tool. Artificial extended or reality, augmented reality in manufacturing is beautiful because we can train people with the headsets and digital twins and augmented reality, and the people can understand how they can fix the machines, and they are not touching at all. Then we are going to be forward and more deeper in education, training, and more things about this opportunity where we are going to convert, we are going to create new and clear understanding about our future. And it's amazing. Artificial intelligence doesn't think like a human, but it makes decisions that affect humans. It's a big differentiation. And that's exactly why governance matters, because we are giving to the artificial intelligence the information. And sometimes we are giving the permission to the artificial intelligence that make decisions for us. And this, I think that this is an important moment, and when we need to stop and understand and create a certain about the governance, about the boundaries, about rules and regulations. But then governance is not a bureaucracy, it's a leadership. And when we're talking about governance is a rules, structures and values that decide who benefits from technology, not who doesn't. It's completely different when we are talking about who owns information and how they are using the information. If I am giving the permission to the artificial intelligence that can decide for me what I want to eat, how I want to be treated, what I need to do with my life, for sure, it's going to take the decision for me. And it's not about governance, it's about leadership. Who is using the information and for what? Then we have two points here: the old and the new. The old, it's about governance is equal to compliance. Rules, slow innovation, tech first, and ethics later. But now ethics be designed from day one, because now artificial intelligence is taking information for us. Then governance equal to leadership, and rules need to be clear, and they need to have this kind of sustainable scale. And ethics, it need to be the first, it need to be the breakfast for all of the mornings, because it's important to create this clear boundaries between what we are doing, what we are listening, what we are saying, what we are giving to the artificial intelligence, because it's not an option. Diversity is governance, and we need to understand, for example, 22% women in AI, only 22% of professionals globally are women. Then what is the meaning about governance? We are giving information about our information, about our company, about logistics, about everything. But then now we can measure everything, but what we are doing, how we are improving. And also, when the artificial intelligence is making mistakes, because it's creating errors, and we are not checking the errors. Sometimes we only copy and paste information, and we don't check what it's giving us. Then, for example, we have also problems with errors with AI that occur more in women than in men, and it's 70%. That what is happening with the government, with the data and the code, then it's having problems, and we are creating more because we are not certain about the governance, about the data. And another is the opportunity to promote women in the equal digital economy, because it's not clear how we're going to do. Then governance technology reflects the basis of those who build it. Inclusive governance corrects the course. Then we like to use technology, we like to talk about code, we like to talk about governance. Then governance became the opportunity to correct the real course about how, where, who's, and when is going to use the technology. And this is part of the building process. Here in Sweden, in Women in Tech Sweden, we are more focused for these opportunities. It's a global moment, and when we belong to Women in Tech Global, And also here in the chapter, we are connecting women across deep tech, artificial intelligence, policy and leadership, because we believe that it's a complementary. But also we are offering mentorship and advocacy regarding technology, regarding cybersecurity, regarding artificial intelligence, because we need to amplify the voices. We need to amplify the voices and where the decisions are made. We don't just participate in tech, we are shaping its direction. And we are moving forward and we are trying to promote and create certain in how the rules need to be done, because we need to create certain. Then first, we are talking about responsibility and challenges in our companies, but also we are talking how we are using technology. We are trying to promote more efficiently the cybersecurity. Next month, we are going to have a webinar regarding cybersecurity, because we believe that we need to go more deeper in this higher adoption, but also in this new education, because we need to promote these opportunities with the companies that were part of Women in Tech Sweden, but also the women they are part of. They need to have the tools to be more real and more clear understanding what is happening with the technology. Then I really believe that this is part of the journey that we are doing. First, we are talking about and a lot about ethics by design. Build values into system from day one. Second, accountability frameworks. Who is responsible, for example, in your company when AI fails? Who is responsible when the AI is making errors? For example, when you are doing a research and somebody told you that they were using AI, but you seen that they were a mistake, maybe so references they are not clear, maybe it's an error. Then who is part of that? And another is transparency. To understand some topic, you need to be clear about 4 steps. You need to learn, you need to get the clear understanding where you can explain with your own words. The third level is you can offer an explanation using your own expertise and your own words. And the fourth is about that you can train somebody in this topic because you knows how can explain, you can understand and you have a deeper understanding how to explain another people. And then the fourth, you can train people because you know and you have this kind of expertise. Then you can go forward for the another. How this affect for example, the communities, because the communities need to have a voice, and this is the most important part when you're talking about governments using data, using artificial intelligence, and using technology. And in the final is this adaptive regulation. Rules need to be clear, and then we can go forward and fast with technology because we understand. When we don't understand, it's really complex. Sometimes it's easy to make mistakes, but we don't know how. For example, when you are a leader, how you can promote or use artificial intelligence. Are you giving classes? Are you giving training to your team? Your team have, for example, free time, one time per week, for example, or 45 minutes per day using technology. Try to understand how to use technology, or it's not possible in your company, or maybe also your family. I really believe that if you are going to talk about technology or artificial intelligence or code or 3D or visualization or digital, you need to talk and you need to create the certain what you are saying. The second is who knows who is the best. Now there are more than 10,000 different AIs. We're talking about ChatGPT, Perplexity, Cloud, Grok, Gemini. Who is the best for what, and which is the best for what, and who is the best to use this? Then I think that when you are in team, when you are in your team, when you are with your family also, you need to try. You need to spend time trying what is the best for you, because all of these AIs, they were created for something special. It's not about I want to use these AIs for everything. No, you need to understand how you can interact with them and also how you can use. And the third is the ethics. Which kind of talks we can use, which kind of boundaries we're going to have, who is going to be in charge of check everything, who is going to be charged of create this opportunity. Then I really believe that speed without governance is not innovation. It's a liability, and then we need to stop to doing this with our own mistakes when we are using AI, with our team and with our family. Then, what is going on with all of the opportunities that we are doing with technology? Then, it's important, it's really important going forward with this AI policy, drone regulations, spatial computing standards, and digital rights. You know, we have, like a human, we have digital rights, and we need to create the certain and the boundaries between in between of that. And also, when we are women and we are leading the governance conversation that will define the next decade. Then I'm talking about artificial intelligence policies, a woman lead, for example, teams shaping the European Community and the AI Act implementation. We are talking about drone standards. There are more and more female engineers that they are helping the ESA airspace frameworks, and it's really good because you are seeing more women in space, in automotive, in aircraft, and it's really good because we can create a certain about the drones, the standard, and the algorithms if we are promoting and we are participating in more often projects like this. Also, digital rights. We need to create the certain, we need to promote the digital rights. It's really important because leadership is in governance is a technical leadership. We are now moving forward to the leadership team, to the leadership AI system, and it's part of our journey to learn more and more and more. We're going to start to close. Then what we can do easily and fast. First, define the criterion where you are going to use technology, artificial intelligence, code, algorithms, drones. Build the infrastructure in where everybody can feel safe. It's important to create a safe environment and where the technology is there, but it's not everywhere. And measure, because if you are not measuring, you are not getting the opportunity to check what is happening. Then, criteria before code. For example, you need to check which part of the job you can be made by humans, and which other part it will be helpful to use artificial intelligence. But also, you are using artificial intelligence in your article, in your presentation. You need to tell. You don't need to feel shame or feel bad that you are using artificial intelligence. You need to feel proud that you know how to use artificial intelligence. It's the opposite way. Second, in your family, in your country, in your company, in your team, do you feel safe? Do you feel psychological safe to talk about technology? Do you feel safe talking that you are using AI to, I don't know, create a really beautiful presentation like I am sharing with you? It was made by artificial intelligence. I was doing the research, I was doing information, but the artificial intelligence was helping me to do these beautiful frames, slides. You need to feel safe, and it's important because when you feel safe, in the case when you are a leader, the teams move faster, and then the people like to talk. And the last is mentorship helps. If you know more about AI, about certain technology, talk with your team, talk with your people, because sponsorship, the technology is really important. And then give women real budget, real ownership, and visible backing when pushback show us. It's really important. Not only say, promote, create, and give to the people these safe environments. In the final, what you can do starting today, what we're doing here in Women in Tech Sweden. Add your voice to the governance conversation. Use lenses. Audit your technology in your organization. Who is in charge of technology, but also who is taking care of the technology, who is taking care of the digital rights. mentorship works, and also need to be a special high-tech or technology mentorship, OI mentorship. Somebody knows more in the company than you. Somebody was taking a certification. Somebody is using in deeper understanding the technology. Open the doors and try to promote this clear understanding about technology. Follow and share the conversation, because governance spread through networks. It's only the meaning of what we can do. In the final, remember, the era of creation is over. The era of governance has begun. Drones, code, and synthetic words need human-centered rules. We need rules to be certain, to be safe. Diverse governance is not a charity, it's a technical necessity. Woman who leads in tech must also lead in setting its boundaries. And every leader in this room is a potential governance architect. Think on that, because we need to have clear understanding, we need to feel safe, and we need to feel comfortable using technology, not afraid. And for you, it's important to think on this. Imagine today that somebody is testing your organization. Imagine that you have, for example, an engineer, or you have a leader team that is a woman. Does she have a seat at the table when you are talking about technology? Does she have the visible backing when a pushback shows up? And in the final, does she have the real budget and real ownership? Remember, we are talking about this new IT technology leadership. We are talking about technological leadership. What breaks first? Access, air cover, or authority? Because here is the opportunity to change boundaries and change the options, and where we can talk about technology in different way. Drones is not only a tool, it's the opportunity to fix, it's the opportunity to sing, code and algorithms. It's a new way to talk. And in the final, the code is governance. Thank you. I am Carolina Hedman, CEO of Globalyx and Director Chapter of Women in Tech Sweden. Remember, the impossible is possible. Thank you, Monica.
Thank you so much, Caro. Okay, perfect. I will leave the slide. Do you want us to leave the slide so people can scan it, maybe? Yeah. So let's give more time for everybody. I have one question. Although we have also many short questions that women were commenting after your presentation. This question is a little bit more deep, but I'm sure you'll be able to answer it. In a world where technology is evolving faster than ever, what parts of your leadership identity have you had to unlearn, and what are you intentionally redefining for the next generation of women leaders? It's a bit deeper, as I can repeat it if you want. So, what parts of your leadership identity have you had to unlearn in a world where technology is evolving faster than ever? And what are you intentionally redefining for the next generation of women leaders as a role model? Because you're leading
Yeah.
chapter, you have
Yeah, I think that is two part. If I answer in well, I am thinking. First, we are not exactly ready to measure emotions, and this is the I think that creativity, passion, and emotions differentiate us a lot from the technology and robots. And for me, when you're talking about passion, I think that we can teach people to feel passion about his dreams, and we cannot teach the robots to do that. and that is the main important part. But also, when you're talking about your creativity, you can be really creative, and I'm all time pushing boundaries about my creativity. I am studying creativity, I am certifying creativity, I am consultant in creativity, but also I was studying with my master professor in Harvard, Dr. Amabile, that she was making trees creativity methodology. And I really believe, I'm a believer that creativity is the main point and where my identity feel comfortable and also grow. If I don't push my creativity all days a little more. If I don't read about creativity, if I don't know about creativity, if I don't co-create certain solutions, I don't feel confident. I don't feel human. I feel more like a robot. I am solving problems. If some customer like to do some digital twin, maybe I can do for you, Monica. No, I don't care what you like, but I can do a digital twin for you. You like the digital twin? Okay, I don't listen you. I don't feel empathy for you. I only feel sympathy, and it's okay. I can do for you, and I can finalize my deliver. But it's not this human engagement, when you are creating something for the customer, it's more about this comprehensive moment, and when you are human and you try to solve the problem in different way. And this is the most important human opportunity to demonstrate that you are there for somebody. Then when you are there and you try to solve the problem in different ways, and you are empathetic and you are creative, it's more about this engagement. And I hope so that we never discover how to do robots with creativity, because it will going to be really complex and difficult. And emotions, because I think that all of the people, we're emotional people, because we are like that. Is beautiful, but in the final, we need to take care of the monster, and this is our main important part in life. No, everybody have a monster. Everybody have good days and bad days, but it's not the person in front of us that is the problem. No, and then we need to check inside of us. And I think that is part of identity, to hold the horses with the monster. Then empathy, no, take care of ourselves, and creativity.
Thank you, Cara. There are few questions also from the audience. One is, how did you create the slides? They really love they really love the presentation.
Yeah, well, okay. I love to try different AIs. It's part of my job. Then when you're talking about your audience, like now, you need to do 5 different exercises. First, who is your audience? Second, language, because you need to adapt the language. You need to adapt also the tone of your voice. Third, for sure, the logo, and we are talking about Woman in Tech. Then the color of the slides is a combination with the color that we have in our brand manual. Fourth, images. Uh, what is the most important for you? Because, for example, in Petacucha, it's only images, and you need to talk in different way. But here, I cannot see you. Then I need to understand what you like to see, what you like to do with the information. Maybe you like to take a photo. Maybe you like to take the slide. Maybe you are writing something. That too much information is really bad. It's no more than 5 lines in your slide. And in the final, the combination about your closing, because you have certain time, like now we are on time, then you need to breathe on time, and you need to take it easy about the information, and you need to connect the dots into the information. Then first, you need to use an AI that can help you to understand your audience. Second, you need to use another AI to understand the content of your information. You need to create your information, and you need to give the information to the third AI. Fourth, you need to create the content. You need to create the information about these three, and then you can create information of the content. And the conclusions. I'm going to give you the 5 different AIs because there are different. You can use, I'm going to start in the final. You can use Sora or Leonardo for the photos and pictures. They are really realistic. Then you can use for the content, for example, Cloud, because Cloud help you to create certain about the topic that you are talking and also provide you references and statistics. The other AIs, I don't trust on them because they dream or they have a lot of deja vus. Then Cloud is more efficient and giving you references, but you need to prompt exactly what you like to do with Cloud. The third, the main important references, maybe talks, and with somebody was talking about the same topic that you need to check that if exists and who is talking about that, because maybe there are influencers that they are talking, for example, in this case, drones. Then you need to check everything. I recommend you a lot SEAT, that SEAT can help you with the references. And the second, you have all of this information, you need to create the content. I can recommend you Perplexity. It's really, really good. And never use only one AI, because remember, can make a lot of mistakes if you don't check with the other four. Then for a presentation like this, you need 5 different AIs.
Wow, this was a really good answer and very like thorough. So thank you so much, Caro. So we have 5 more minutes. I want to ask you the last question because the other questions are more specifically about parts of the presentation. So I'm sure after that, like we can check them. And thank
Yes.
you all for the questions by now. You can always reach Caro on LinkedIn. We will leave the link in the chat in the comments for at LinkedIn Live. What is your favorite and most used AI tool? Um, and this is my last question, like most used and favorite tool. And if you cannot name just one, you can name three. I think you named the five which are
Okay.
you used for the presentation, but maybe you have even more that you could share for our audience. And last, what is your advice that you'd like to give to whole world watching us now?
Okay, about AIs, I have 1,000. Then it's not easy. Depend what you like, but also because we are creating special AIs, we are helping companies creating, for example, accounting services. Then you can create all of your accounting, for example, for human resource. We can help you with the salary report. Now you can do it. We can create a perfect Excel, for example, that you can deliver for human resources for salary payments, for example. But when you are talking about lawyers, you need to create a contract. And we are also helping companies that they need an expert AI. Then it's other AIs. We are also helping, for example, to measure certain agricultural systems. Then there are other AIs. Depend of the industry and also depend for what do you like to use AIs. But
Maybe
in the
maybe
market,
productivity is
yeah, productivity, you can measure leadership, and also other company question us about to measure the customer emotions when the people is ready for buy. There are other tools and where you can measure the voice, for example, the emotional voice, or also the micro gestures. When the people is in front of the camera, we can measure different things. Then
perfect.
it's sorry, was not clear my answer. I know, but if you are in the car industry, for example, and you like to try and you like to test the car, there are special tools for that. If you are maybe jumping because you like to try a parachute, there are other tools with camera that we can measure how the people feel, for example. And if you are talking about, for example, the tennis racket, we can check also with other AI tools the strength of the human body. And there are a lot of different tools. I recommend that you can try, for example, try with Perplexity this month. Pay $20. I don't know if it costs 20. Then pay 1 month and check everything. Understand how works one. Pay. Okay, maybe you like it, maybe you don't like it, maybe what's difficult for you. Okay, could the payment and go for another, because there are a
Mhm.
lot of different tools. If you like to create really beautiful photos, there are really realistic AI photos. But my advice is, please, if you when you are using technology, you need to tell your audience. You need to write, because if not, we're going to create a confused, disruptive world, and where we are not ready to see and differentiate if it's real or it's fake. And we don't like fake things.
Caro, we have 1 more minute. So, what is your last message for everybody?
Try, and don't give up, because impossible is possible.
Perfect. Thank you so much. On behalf of Women in Tech Global, I'm grateful for your acceptance and for being with us today. Thank you for the remarkable presentation. Everybody can reach you on LinkedIn. Also,
Yes,
reach Women in Tech Sweden for the next
yes,
activities. And I look forward to seeing you in Cape Town and everybody else to the Women in Tech Summit. Thank you.
yes,
Bye,
for sure.
everyone.
Thank you, and goodbye.